Everybody, it's Lacey. Welcome to Paws and Papers. So I am here to do a flip through of my latest completed journal. This one got really big. So it is, and of course, if you haven't been here before, that is the Paws call in the background. So yes, thank you very much. So this one here is a repurposed, this is an old hardcover, like 1900s songbook. So I just thought the cover was really pretty. I didn't want to cover it up, so I've just turned it into this big, huge, chunky journal. So this one here is about 7 by 10.5, and it is almost 6.5 inches open mouth, and that's holding it together. And I did do the seam binding in the cover in the middle, but I did also, or the sari silk, but I did also do seam binding to help it, because it did end up getting so chunky that I was afraid the sari silk wouldn't be strong enough to hold it together. So that's why I have both closures on it. So stitch is going to be helpful here today too. So it's covered in fabric here. There's a lot of these teals and yellows in it, and it's just a really pretty journal. It turned out really well. I was happy with how it turned out. So here we go. This is a big one. It has six signatures in it. Yes, 6 signatures, and I think that is over, what is it, 170 pages roughly. So I have this old, I love these, when I find these keys, these old rusted keys like this is just attached on here. It's one of those really cool skeleton keys, and I've just decorated it up there with this doily on the front cover. And then there's lots of tucks and lots of vintage pieces in here. And there's lots of just different, some are digitals, but a lot of authentic vintage pieces. And all the paper has been coffee dyed, and I do, I bake my paper because I like the way the baked paper comes out. This was just a journaling card I made with some napkins, some little decorations, lots of different pieces in here. Some I've made. So here's just like a journaling card I've made. Some scrapbook paper in the back, and then there are also some authentic vintage pieces in here. So lots of the tucks and everything have actual pieces to play with. Very cool. Lots of them are in the blues and yellows, the teals colors and things like that. So you'll see ledger pages in here. There's some handwritten letters in here. Here we had made those wax seals on the lace. Those turned out really cool. And they're not too super bulky in the journal, even though they stick up a little bit. They haven't really expanded the journal all that much. Bunch of pieces in here, some really pretty vintage letter stationery. And then just different assorted pieces of vintage ephemera. Like I said, a lot of authentic vintage ephemera in here. There's these fabric tabs with charms on each signature. So there's those. More pieces. I'm not going to go through every little piece in here. Some of these large cards that I've just made, I've just backed them with some old it's in a ledger, but it's not really ledger. It's just like writing paper, but they're all numbered at the top, so that was kind of cool. So I used a lot of that to back some of these pages. And then some of these I've used, this is like a greeting card picture. I've just made a cool tuck spot out of it. Some more just vintage ephemera. This is a very fun, kind of just more of a look journal, like an explore journal. I would expect, you know, somebody to just have fun exploring it, looking at all the cool old pieces. Some things are just, you know, little bits of leftovers, whatever, that I thought, you know, would be fun because, you know, I would think you would want to add to the journal. You know, add your pieces and add your own decorations. We did do that one on camera. So here's another, just a fussy cut tuck spot out of some old greeting cards. Here's a really cool old handwritten letter. These are just fun to read. That's why this journal would be for someone who enjoys old papers and exploring things. And I did make a bunch of journaling cards in here and a couple tags. But just a really fun, really large journal. And there's still room for you to add more. Here's a really old piece of ledger. This one's quite old. Don't know if there's a date on that or not, but somebody, I can't believe they even wrote in pencil. No, they don't write anything in pencil. Oh, and there's a bunch of these in here. I love these cards. These are those alcohol ink embossed cards that I made. Those are some of my favorite on index card. I love those. Then just other pieces in there. Some really grungy pages. A bunch of little pieces of this and that. Oh, here's an old greeting card that I've made into just a journaling spot there and did some decorating. Isn't that cute? Kind of like that. And then the fabric tabs with the charms. There's another one of those alcohol ink embossed index cards, and I've turned this one into a pocket. Here's just a decorated up tag that I made. There's some more of that letter. See, they all have numbers on them, and it's in that blue, which matches this blue, which I thought was kind of cool. But so a lot of that's in there. Here's some pattern paper turned into like a closure here. This all comes open. You can open it up and add quite a bit of stuff in there. That there is just a French postcard. And a little dangle. And then, oh, this is cute too. This is just there's some old vintagey greeting cards in here. I thought they were just so cute. Oh, these were those were those rub-ons on fabric. There, that's fabric with a rub-on on, made into a journaling card. There's a couple of those in here too. Just little pieces here and there to explore. I thought this was cute. This was in something I found. This is Home Sweet Home, wherever home was. So I don't know if that meant it was in the first aid was Home Sweet Home, or if there was a tent out there somewhere, but I thought that was kind of cute. And there's just a tuck made out of a fussy cut goose. And, oh, I made these cute little, like, little bags out of some music and tucked some things, some postage stamps and things back in there. It's kind of fun. Here's just a pretty belly band I made with some old caramel colored book pages in there. Some vintagey postcards. Just made another journaling card with some little bits and pieces. Here's another card that I've turned into like a double flip in the center here, and then each one has a tag in it, and then these tags are there's like an Edith Holden image back there with some tracing paper and some lace, and they're backed and everything. So I thought those were kind of cute. So little matching cards there in the center with some pretty green, like mossy colored rickrack. There's a lot of the very greens and teals and golds, orangish colors. Kind of really pretty. This was kind of fun. What is the precious stone and flower for your birth month? That's kind of cool. There's all that. Just kind of interesting stuff to read. I think that's cool. So you can read about which one's yours. Here's another one of those. Made little little bag out of that was some book like textbook ledger, and then an old receipt in there, which I thought was kind of cool. Interesting what people keep. More of the fabric tabs. This here I actually did a little bit of stenciling up here. Here's an old postcard, just an old vintagey postcard. And then some more ephemera and one of those other, these are just so pretty. I love these. These alcohol ink tabs were probably one of my favorite things I did. I really like the colors in there. Super, super pretty. And all the edges on the paper have been like torn, so they have like that deckled edge on them. Here's another tuck, fussy cut tuck. This is kind of cool. This was like an actual real estate card of something. I thought that was kind of neat with a picture of the house tucked in there. This is just like a center tuck I had made. Just cut out a neat shape and then tucked a bunch of, this is some German text in here. A bunch of cool German text book. Here's just a pretty tuck spot. This is another kind of like Edith Holden looking image. And then I made this big envelope out of a digital. And it's just got a piece of, this is just a reproduction of some sort of filing card, but I still thought it was cool. And that's in there. And then I did make, made like an altered paper clip out of some tickets. And here's like a, this is also part of a greeting card, but I've backed it. And just made a fun little tag out of it. And it's got a lace pocket down there. And now I've just clipped on here with my paper clip. And here I've just made like a clustered tuck. And tucked some really cool old, this is German book page in there. That's really discolored and pretty. We did do these, just the book images, and I've added some embellishing there. Just made a big large pocket there with some receipts. More tucks, pretty images. Here's another, this was a watercolor, like a really glittery watercolor. I don't know if it shows up very well on camera, but it's a really pretty goldish watercolor embossed on a index card, and I turned it into a layered up journal card there. That was pretty. Some really pretty grungy pages. This was just an interesting piece I had made. Just a cutout from the earlier piece in here, and put some rick-rack in between and turned it into a interesting looking belly band with a whole bunch of old like tickets or stamps. You can see those really grungy pages. I love how they all came out. Here's another really pretty card. All those alcohol ink cards are in here. I love them. They're probably absolutely my favorite. And just some more stenciling. There are some blank pages in here. Another tuck. Old pieces of typed. I love how the typing is like purplish on these older pieces. And then there's another fabric tab in the charm. Here's just another card turned into a little like journaling spot. Got a little tuck here with some old stamps. These are from different countries and things like that. Some more old newspaper. Here's a big Edith Holden image on a journaling card. Tucked into a spot here with some lace. Lots of grungy pages. They're all nice and crunchy. Here's another one of those images we did. Just some fun little flip spots out of some digitals. Here's another one of those stamps. This tag turned out really good. I like how this tag turned out. I just put some of this really pretty blue polka dot paper on here. I made one of those little bags out of tracing paper and stuffed a couple handwritten pieces in here, and I made a little tag out of some tickets, and those just get tucked in there. It's all embellished nice and cute. It's got some sari silk, and then it's just backed in music. I just thought how that tag, it's very country-ish looking. It's kind of cute though. It kind of goes with this journal. I like it. Very cute. And some more grungy pages. Some things are just glued on images just to look at. Here I've got, there's several of these. These are old encyclopedias. These are like 1920 encyclopedias. They're real thin pages. But I just made like tucks out of them. And here I've got some of that piano roll in there. And an old flashcard, and just decorated it up a little bit. This is just one of my digitals, the wildflower images. And here's, I love these, the typewriter paper. There's an old note on some real thin typewriter paper. That stuff's neat. I'm surprised it actually took the typewriter and didn't like break. Here's just a little piece you can tuck in behind this little tab. Here's just another pretty image greeting card turned into a double tuck spot here with just an airmail envelope in the back. And then this is a really pretty aged, don't know if you can see the discoloration on it, but it's a discolored type note. And it's a nice little note to read. And that's just tucked in the front of that pocket there. There's another charm with the fabric. These are sari silk. The blue is sari silk, and then this is just regular fabric here, like some cotton fabric. Here's another one of those alcohol ink embossed tabs with a pretty, isn't that a pretty image postcard? It's an old one. What does this say? 1920 something, maybe? But I just thought the image was really pretty in there, and that's tucked in there. Here's another one of those policy closures. And you can undo them, or you can just slide things out. But here's some old, this is really old ledger. Look at the writing. Just a piece of that. I don't know what a date, but that has to probably be like 1800s. That's like more of the writing of 1800s. And here's some of that notebook paper that's all numbered. I've used a lot of that in here as well. So those fun old pieces just get tucked in here. There's just another Edith Holden image. Some pretty berries I thought was neat. I did do a little bit of stenciling here and there. Here's another greeting card, like fussy cut image with some of that. This, I think, yeah, 1896. Here's some more of that ledger. It's so brittle that when you fold it, it cracks and everything. That's just the nature of it being that old. But it is really pretty to look at. And then same over here, I just made like a nice big tuck here. Here's some really old, this had to have been some like school type paper. Again, so old. When you fold it and everything, it just kind of breaks apart. But it's kind of neat to just see all that old paper. Even though it's so brittle and everything, I mean, as long as you glue it down, it'll stay. Here's a fabric pocket. The colors went really well with this. Here's just a little piece I had made. This is like a book page tag. It's got some pockets in it. I've just stuffed some random stuff in here to play with. Some stamps, some scrapbook papers and things. It's fabric lined. I don't know when I made those. I made those a long time ago. Here's just a pretty page. Just everything's just glued down on here. I had done those. These are like those stickers that I did that like they're nice and shiny. Those Lumiere things I love all the time. And we continue on. Like I said, this is a huge book. Oh, this one's pretty. I love this one. Isn't that gorgeous? With the butterfly, I put a butterfly on there. This is like a sheer kind of like sticker fabric butterfly, but love it. So pretty. And just an old postcard. Here's just some fun ledger for extra writing. And, oh, this is cool. This is a 1922, 23. This is someone's grade card. You can see how well they did. How many days they were absent. Oh, they got C's and B's. They were an average student. He's promoted to the 12th grade. Well, very good. So I'm sure he graduated. So that's kind of fun. I love those pieces. Here's just an old piece of meeting minutes. I just love those. Like I said, it's just interesting what people keep. Just some fun little pieces stuck down here. These are like little washi stickers that are kind of pretty in the flowers. Some old book pages. Pretty digital images. Another fabric tab. Here's one of those other book page images. This here is just another old piece of ledger. I kept the rough edge in there. I thought it was kind of cool. Here I made like a envelope. It's got a piece of, not acetate, but I can't think of it now. It's not tracing paper. Oh, I can't think of it. But anyway, it's a decorative piece of that stuff. You know what I'm talking about. And then, isn't this cool? This is a really cool piece of, this is French ledger. I got these, and I don't know what dates. Oh, the 1920s again. This is 1920s, but aren't these cool? This is a really cool piece of French ledger in there. I thought that was fun. I like how they write in both colors, the blue and the reds. Very cool. And this envelope is just lined with like one of those Sears and Roebuck catalogs. And it's all tied up with a piece of lace here. Did some stenciling on it. Vellum. That's what that is. Vellum. See, I knew I'd think of it after. Here's another one of those. I'm telling you, this book is big. There's another one of those wax seals. I love this one. The camera doesn't pick it up, but it's very shimmery, goldish red. I did do some embossing. I was testing out my embossing on a coffee dyed envelope. Here's some cool, just German text and some old. This actually is the songbook. This was the music from this songbook. So there's a couple pieces of that in there. And this is the last of those alcohol ink tabs or journaling cards tucked in there. Cute little images up there. And then this is really pretty. I just turned this into a whole like flip out big hidden journaling spot there. Here's another one of those encyclopedia pages. Another one of the rub-on leaf transfers, journaling cards. Some more just handwritten pieces. I think that's actually, must be notes from something. They're talking about density and things. Must be student notes. And we are to the end, and I just have a pretty picture butterfly, and then a piece down here. This is just a digital piece. And that is the end. So this is available in my Etsy shop now if you're interested. It is a big one. So go check it out if you would be interested. And I will be back with you guys for a crafting video real soon. So go get your paws dirty and get crafty, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.